Hey everybody, welcome back to Tales from the Car. This is your host Joshua, and tonight we are recording episode 29. And what I originally had planned for this episode, I at least decided to put off for another week, as I was trying to decide what I actually wanted to say about a certain subject and how to handle it. But never fear, that's coming anyway. I guess you don't really know. Since I don't really have a set plan from week to week, I kind of usually decide what I'm doing like the day I'm doing it. So, anyway, tonight we're doing the episode on people are fucking crazy. And I guess we'll call it part one, because I'll probably do more than one of these, I'm sure, at some point. And I'll get into that in a few minutes as to why I was inspired to do this. But before we get into all that, we got show notes and everything, and let's get that out of the way. So, as always, man, Tales from the Car is a weekly podcast, and we are available on all major podcast platforms and a whole bunch of other ones that I've never even heard of. That's all good, though. That's not really a bad thing. The show's out there and available all over the goddamn place. And I don't know really how many listeners we have. I never seem to get a real accurate count of that. And I guess that's okay. But the crazy thing is, on this app called Good Pods, apparently, I don't really understand how this happened or why, but we are the number 3 indie podcast in the category of personal journals. And I checked today, the other day we were number 4, but now we're number 6. Apparently I dropped a few notches, and I was right behind Up and Vanished, which was quite a that was quite an impressive thing to me, because Up and Vanished I know has like 1 billion listeners. So now instead of being number 4, we're number 6 on the regular list. So if you're listening to this anywhere in the world, and we do have some international listeners, which always shocks the living shit out of me, believe me. If you're in the States or somewhere overseas, and I know you're loved and appreciated, and I said I don't know what the numbers are really supposed to look like, but that's pretty fucking crazy to me. I don't know. And but thank you, and please, if you're listening to this, like and follow, subscribe to the show, whatever the verbiage is on the app or device you're listening to this on. Share the show, give us a 5-star review anywhere you're listening. It really helps us out. You can always contact the show through the Facebook group at Tales from the Car Podcast, and search for that, because I'm sure that's the only thing that's going to come up under that heading. And send a request, we'll get you in. Or you can email the show at mrpogo1972@gmail.com. Any comments, criticisms, complaints, show ideas, whatever you want to send along, we'll definitely read it. And hell, I might, if I ever get any emails, good, bad, or ugly, I'll read them on the air even. What else am I missing? Oh, if you want to donate to the show, man, please feel free to do so at buymeacoffee.com. And I reconfigured the thing so you can donate to the show for as little as $2. And, help about my coffee addiction or whatever, man. Shows appreciation if you want. And we'd really love that here. Anyway, the show will always be free. I don't know. I've said before, if I ever did a Patreon, I don't even know what that would look like. But for now, I guess there's no plans for that. Maybe probably just be some ad-free stuff. We ever got sponsors. But anyway. And what else? Oh, man, shout out, of course, to Joe at ElitePodcast.net for the show art. Man, really always appreciate that. And KJ's Gutters, if you're out there in Easton and the Allentown, Bethlehem area in Pennsylvania, if you need any help with gutter work, I think they do new gutters. They probably even clean them for you coming up in the fall, or you might even need that soon. and hit them up and let them know we sent you. And well, you know what? That's it. So listen, we're gonna be back here in just a moment with a discussion of people are fucking crazy. And hang on one second. Hey everybody, we're back, and let's go ahead and get into this. So this whole thing was inspired the other night when I was at the Wawa, my favorite place in the world, best coffee in the world, best sandwiches. If you can't get to a Publix, go to a Wawa. If you can't go to a Wawa, well, I hope you got a good alternative. Anyway, so what happens is I'm at the Wawa, I pull up, get out of my car, and I'm approaching the store, and this guy's coming towards me from the direction of like the front of the store, and he's got this big smile on his face, looking at me like he knows me, and I have no idea who the fuck this is, like no idea at all. And I assume it's just some homeless guy or whatever trying to bump some money, and because especially when he walks up to me, he's like, "Oh hey man, how you doing? What's going on?" And I'm just looking at him like he's stupid. And I'm like, nothing? He's like, "Oh, man, it's good to see you." I'm like, okay. And I'm like, still looking at him like, why do I know? Like, why are you talking to me? And he goes, "Oh, man, you used to live over there, And I'm like, this is a town I live in. I was like, yeah, I live somewhere over there. And I just shrugged and I walked off. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Like, I don't know him. Like, he's not a friend of mine. He's never been to my house. I have no idea. And then it just annoyed the shit out of me. And about an hour later, it dawns on me. Now, try to explain this story. So, anyway, it dawns on me that I think I know who the guy is, although I don't know him. See, like a couple of years ago, after I was divorced and we had sold the house, one day I was talking to my daughter, and for some reason we were talking about the house and how I couldn't even tell you why, but like nobody cut the grass for like a year and a half. All right, like there's able-bodied people, by the way, that live there, but whatever. That's not here to litigate that or go over that, but that's just fucking fact. So my daughter says to me one day, well, she kept saying, no, it hadn't been that long. I'm like, Molly, it was at least that long. I'm a short person, and there were weeds in the yard that stood at least 6 feet tall. I'm not even making that up. I have pictures. Anyway, so we're in this discussion, and she says, well, after some point, I don't know when this would have been exactly. She says, we couldn't cut the grass anyway because somebody stole the lawnmower. And I'm like, nobody stole the lawnmower. I'm like, what? This is ridiculous. Like, and I'm telling you, it really is. You just have, I don't know. You'd have to understand the whole situation. All right, my ex-wife and everything. This is ridiculous. Like, nobody stole the lawnmower. She's like, no, somebody stole the lawnmower. I was like, okay, well, what happened? Like, how do you know this? She's like, well, I don't know for sure, but one night this guy came to the door, and I don't know if my ex-wife answered or a friend answered the door. I don't even know, but actually that becomes relevant here in a moment. And he says, or she says, well, they went to the door and this guy wanted to cut the grass, but we told him no. I don't know why, because the grass by that point definitely needed to be fucking cut. But anyway, I digress. They tell this guy, no, we don't need anybody to cut the grass. And he leaves, and the story is that the lawnmower disappeared, like, right after that. I don't know if they noticed it that night, or whatever it may have been. I don't know. So, the reason why this pertains to this random fucking person at Wawa the other day irritating me is because at Wawa... Wawa's a magical place. At Wawa, right around, actually, you know what, like, within like a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of days even, I forget, it was really close to the time I was having this discussion with my daughter, that I was at Wawa, and this guy approaches me, in the same situation, but in the store. He's like looking at me and smiling at me. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, it's so weird. Dude, it's so fucking weird. And he comes up to me like he knows me. Oh, hey, man, how you doing? Same way. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I think I said to him that. Like, do I know you? Like, I don't, like, who are you? And he never says his name. This much I remember. If he did, I forgot it. Because it's as irrelevant as he is. So he says to me, he says, oh man, he said no, oh, he's claimed anyway to live somewhere by my old house. And I was like, okay, and like I don't know. I'm thinking like, do I ever seen this person in the neighborhood? I don't think so. I'm totally blanking on people. You see people around or whatever, you don't even know them, but you'll see like your neighbors, right? I'm like, okay, like, so, like, what do you want? They're like, oh, you know, I was just saying hi, whatever. I'm like, I don't know why, because I don't know you. This is really getting annoying. He was, like, following me around the store, talking to me, and I don't know why. But then he says to me, at some point, oh, you know, I went by your house the other day. And I'm like, you went by my house? That bothered me. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He knows where I live? Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this is, like, so out there. I'm like, this is, like, creeped out. And I'm like, you know where I live? And like, you know where I live? Like, I don't even know who the fuck you are. And he says, yeah, man. And, I went by my house. Like, well, what happened? I'm like, why would you go by my house? Like, who? Like, what? He's like, yeah, I knocked on the door. And your mom answered. And I'm like, my mom answered? I didn't even say anything. My mom had been dead at that point for 20 years. All right. My mom passed away very suddenly in 2004 of a brain aneurysm at the age of like 56. All right. And God rest her soul. She was an amazing person. Everybody said other mom, but mom was awesome. I've talked about her before on the show. She's the reason why I met. If you want to go back and listen to the first When Meeting Your Heroes Goes Right, she's the entire reason I met Black Sabbath and Motorhead. My mom was pretty fucking awesome. But anyway, so my mom never lived in Virginia either. So this is really even funnier. And I'm not sure who they talked to. But actually, after talking to Molly, now that I think about it, I think she said it was my ex's friend, who answered the door, which really made me laugh because I'm thinking like, wow, she doesn't really look that old. Or how old does this guy think I am? like me and this person do not get along, and I felt bad. I'm like, she definitely does not look like she'd be old enough to be my mother. But I don't know, think like, how old does this guy think I am, or how old does he think she is? But this is really hilarious. Like, that part was hilarious. But anyway, he said, yeah, he's like, she said that, they didn't need the grass cut. And so then I told Molly, and I realized that when Molly was telling me that, I was like, holy shit. The other night in Wawa, of all goddamn places, I'm pretty sure I met the guy who stole the lawnmower, allegedly anyway. and fucking, he's annoying, and he's a real annoying idiot. But I'm like, I don't even know who the hell the guy was. He started talking to me like he knew me, and I don't even know who he is. And I'm pretty sure I just ran into that guy the other night. I can't even, like, I can't figure out why he thinks he's my friend. I don't have any fucking idea who he is. I didn't at the time of the Wawa, and I still don't now have any fucking idea who the guy is. I'm not just saying that is the fucking truth. Just unbelievable. I can't even, like, like I say, I can't wrap my head around this because like none of it makes any goddamn sense. But this is what happened. And you want some more stories of people that are fucking completely out of their mind. Speaking of Wawa, maybe I'll just call this Tales from the Wawa. That sounds like a better idea. Like, but the one night, hold on 1 second. Let me pause this a second. All right, everybody, we're back. And, so here's the second story I got for you tonight. There's this guy, I've not encountered him in quite some time. And this is another Wawa story, but it starts first at a 7-Eleven in a town of Waverly. And this guy approached my car, asked me for money, and just like in a complete panic state, like it was like life and death if I didn't give him like $3 or some shit, right? And I just told him like to get the fuck away from my car, and he did, and that was it. But like fast forward to I don't even know, probably a year later, me and my son are pulling up to Wawa. We have both the Wawa parked, and we were sitting in the car because we were talking about something, and we were finishing with the conversation, and suddenly my son's looking at me, and I was like, "What?" Like, this weird look on his face. He's like, "Dad, there's a guy," and I turn to my left, and sure enough, there's this guy standing at my driver's side window or door or whatever, same difference, and like waving at us or something. I was like, "What the fuck?" So I cracked the window and I say, "Gentlemen, can I help you?" Like, cause like, why are you like fucking standing there? And all of a sudden he launches the story. "Please, sir, can you help me? Oh my God, I really need $3. My car broke down. It ran out of gas. It's down the street at the..." And there is actually a veterinary hospital slash office not far from this location. So he did mention a real place. "It's down there at the animal hospital, and I ran out of gas, and they said they were gonna call the police on me because I tried to put gasoline in a plastic milk jug, and now I'm like, I don't have any money, I don't need gas, and Now, everybody knows, been to a gas station, that there is a sign on the pumps that says among the items that you cannot put gasoline into is plastic containers, right? So, I so I was like, "Please help me! I just need $3. I'm a good person." And I was like, "Hey, well, let me ask you something." I stops and said, "Well, listen, like, let me ask you something." He's like, "Okay." And I'm just like, "Well, why are you still here?" And he goes, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, like why are you still here?" He's like, "What do you mean, man?" I'm like, "Well, the Wawa employees saw you doing something stupid, which is listed on the gas pump as illegal, right? And they said if you don't leave, they're gonna call the police, right?" "Yeah." "Well, why the fuck are you still here?" I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, are you trying to get arrested? Like, I don't understand this. And he's just like, he gets all flustered, like, like, it just makes noise. Like, "Well, can you just help me out, man? I just need $3." I'm like, "No, like, I'm not giving you a fucking dime. Get the fuck away from my car and get the hell out of here. Like, just, what the fuck, man? Just go away." He stomps off and roll up the window. I look over, my son is staring at me, like, "What the fuck, Dad?" And I said, because I actually said, I said, "What?" He's like, "Why'd you talk to that guy that way?" I said, "Judd," I said, "listen to his fucking story. His story doesn't make any sense. Okay?" He says, and it didn't. It made no fucking sense at all. He says that, let's recap this. He says that, like a moron, he tried to put gas, allegedly, into a plastic jug, And the people at Wawa saw him and for whatever reason threatened to call the police on him. Why are you still in the fucking parking lot? Are you trying to get arrested? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, why would you still be here? And on top of it all, where's his truck? We'll go by there. I guarantee that there's no truck there. Because like the animal hospital thing, right, is on the way home. Was on the way home to, right? So we wouldn't have to go out of our way. It's right on the way to see if it's trucks. I guarantee there's no truck there at all. All right. And on top of it all, how's it if we give him $3 for gas, right? Like, where's he gonna put the gas? Like, what? Like, none of this makes any fucking sense. Like, I'm like, that's why I acted like that. I'm like, don't give people like that money. And if God forbid you feel the need to do so, if you have money in your pocket, change or otherwise, and you want to give him that, give him that. Don't ever take your wallet out and open it up in front of people like that. And that was told to me years and years ago by a guy who my mom was dating, Ed. Big Ed, if you're listening to this, man, shout out to you. Love you. Good dude. Still talk to him on Facebook here and there. But Big Ed told me when he grew up on the streets of Philadelphia, that's not to give people like that money, and if you do, don't take your wallet out. Okay? So I'm like, don't fucking do that. Right? And he's like, oh, whatever. I'm telling you, like, just listen to what he said. Okay? Listen to what he's saying. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And I told my son, and this is true too. If you're listening to this, take this to heart too. If you're not aware of it, I said, Judd, in life, I said, dumb shit is going to happen to you, all right? And there may be a night where something happens and you're at a gas station, and for whatever reason, say you get in an altercation with somebody, and they tell you, if you don't leave, we're going to call the cops and have you arrested, right? If that happens, fucking leave. Don't fucking stand there. Don't stay there. Don't get arrested. There's nothing in this life worth getting arrested at a fucking gas station over. Walk away and go home. Don't still be in the parking lot begging for money of all fucking things. For fuck's sake. I mean, he was young at the time. He was a young teenager at the time. So he was unaware of this. And I hope he took that advice to heart. But I mean, that's the truth. Sometimes dumb shit happens. But anyway, I'm just thinking about this. I'm driving down the road, and shit. I realized, I've got several more of these stories. At least one more of which takes place at the Wawa of all fucking things. So I think I could do a part 2 to this at some point. But man, yeah, like that's my life lesson for the night. Hope you enjoyed it. But I'm not gonna pause this. And as it gets closer and closer to midnight here on Saturday night, I'm gonna try my best to wrap this up now and get this published before it becomes Sunday morning. So let's start the closing show notes anyway. As I stated earlier, if you're listening to the show, I love you. We love you. We appreciate you. Everybody out there, however many numbers of people there are, I don't even know. If you're one of the people that helped us get to number 3 on the indie list of personal journals on Good Pods, right? And thank you. You're more fucking awesome. If you're no matter what platform you're listening to this on, share. Well, of course, share the show. Like, follow, subscribe. Whatever the verbiage is, please do so. Share the show with your friends, share it with your enemies, all everybody in between. If you hate the show, definitely give it to your enemies, because who knows, maybe they'll hate it too, and you can use it as a way to get back at them for something. So, and what else? All our international listeners, thank you to you guys too. That's fucking amazing. That we have international listeners. Holy shit. And thank you all again. And what else? Oh, you know what? I'm almost forgetting this other shit. If you want to contact the show or anything, you can do so at Tales from the Car Podcast Facebook group, or you can email the show at mrpogo1972@gmail.com. And you send in anything, comments, criticisms, complaints, show ideas, whatever, man. We're open to anything. You can also do the listener survey. You can send in suggestions there. Tell us what you like and don't like about the show. Love to hear it. If you want us to plug anything, let us know. A band, whatever. You got a book, a band, I don't know, some artwork, business, something. Let me know. As long as it's not involving religion or politics, we'll definitely be down for it. What else? Thanks to Joe at Elite Podcast for all his help. And, of course, if you want to donate to the show, please do so at buymeacoffee.com for as little as $2. That'll still get me a coffee, because Wawa, the greatest place on earth, I can still get a coffee refill for under $2. And, I don't know. I think that covers everything. I don't know. I kind of got sidetracked there, but that's all we got, man. If you listen to 1 minute, 5 minutes, or you're still listening to this right now, again, man, know you're loved and appreciated. Thanks for all the support. Making us number 3 on Good Pods is pretty awesome. And until next week, man, stay safe. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Stay safe, stay cool. Enjoy the beach if you're on vacation. If you're staying home, have a good time too. Whatever the case may be. But until next week, man, love you guys. Peace out.